Uzume is our first character, and our countdown will be coming up. All right, I have given them the countdown. We shall see if everything goes according to plan. If not, I am hoping that the stream will work itself out. So both of these players have been in the community for quite a while. Pint definitely newer than Mason, but Mason definitely has been... Sorry, I'm just trying to make sure that they're ready to go. There they go. Sorry about that, everyone. Yeah, so Pint has been on his game for only a hot minute. Mason has had all the time in the world, probably one of the first top 3 players. I know that he came in after people like Dresden. He came in after people like myself, but Mason is up there when it comes to the game. And Pint is no slouch either. That's why these two are in loser semis. Pint, I think last week, just knocking out Henny in losers quarters. And here we go. Both hitting the switch at around the same time. Looks like the SP lead goes to Pint for the time being. You really only need 105 leaving this orb. But then there's an orb drop from Mason. We'll put him behind a little bit, but it's Forest. Really, Forest is no big deal as long as there are no accidental deaths like that one. But again, it is the beginning of the run. Uzume is quite volatile. There are boss skips and 2 bosses. So there's time to be made. Time to be lost by Pint. Time to be made by Mason. All right, Pint on his key carry, very good. And then the intentional damage tanking with Mason over there. Same strat that Pint used, and gonna take the intentional death abuse. We'll fill up all of our SP, all of our health as well. Mason, after quite a few mistakes, has entered his 3rd shrine, and Pint picking up the sushi, which is the first secret of the game. That also refills our SP and HP. And if you are just now joining us, go ahead and follow Speed Gaming. Follow all the Speed Gaming channels. It really helps the channel. It really helps the organization out to get people watching, to get people interested in the games that you care about. So Pint picking up his last 2 upgrades of Forest on the way to the Forest boss. And Mason just about ready for his boss as well. He still has to get the health upgrade at the last shrine and the sushi that he just picked up. Looks like Pint just narrowly misses that pattern. The V pattern that he's going for will save him a couple of seconds. Not a couple of seconds, a couple of milliseconds on those hops. You want to have as few hops as possible in the fight. The less time the boss spends moving, the more time the boss spends going where you want him to. And there was an unfortunate death for Pint. Pint had a pretty sizable lead. It looks like Mason is now in that lead. And there is the finish for Mason. Probably going to be somewhere around a 640 exiting Forest. And there goes Pint. So probably 646. This is a little bit earlier. So I think 646 sounds right for Pint though. So it looks like about a 10-second lead here for Mason. Which again, just like I said, even after every... You saw it live, the death... I think 3 deaths from Mason, as well as an orb drop and a key drop. And that still was not enough if you die on the boss. I think Pint died on phase 3 of the Forest boss, and that cost him all of his time and then some. So very, very volatile run, very, very volatile character. You really have to watch out. Both of them getting the bridge ready to go up to the second shrine. And coming up, there's going to be bridge skip. You activate that switch at the top left-hand side of the screen. A bridge appears, and we cancel that animation, or are able to move during that animation using a cutscene skip by pausing at the same time that we activate the switch. And when we do that, it saves us time. So we'll see which one of them gets it. There are a couple of variations that you can get as well. So if you miss it, it's pretty hefty time loss. So here is hoping both of them get it. There goes Mason. Looks good. Even backtracked a little bit there, not sure exactly why. And here comes Pints. Both of them making sure to clear out all of the enemies first so they don't have any trouble going to the bridge itself. Looks like Mason got stuck on some of the geometry. Yep, went up to the shrine instead. That can happen. Another good skip, and there we go. That should be enough. Yes, just enough to get across the bridge. Very good. Very good save. It almost looks like the health count is wrong for Mason. Pint actually might have picked up his health early, is what it might be. Because I think 6 is right for now. Pint needing to pick up a little bit more SP to get this shrine. He'll also need some more, so it might be in his best interest to start the combo, or excuse me, extend the combo right here. Not gonna opt for it. Realized a little bit too late that he needed more SP. There's the 7th piece of health. Yep, that makes sense. That's interesting. So Pint went for that piece of health before going to the other side of the stage. And there's also boss skips here on the 2nd level and the 4th level. Uzume is able to sink more arrows than are supposed to be allowed into a boss. Seems like a coding logic issue. We'll see if Mason gets it here. That setup looks good. Pretty sure he got all of the arrows. Yep. So instead of doing 3 arrows of damage, true damage is what we call it, being sunk into the weak point, we sink 5, and the game reads that as a logical error, and it says, oh, they sank this many arrows, so we'll skip this many phases. And when we do that, 3 is the correct amount, 5 is 2 more than the correct amount, so we skip 2 phases instead of just going on to the next phase, so it ends the fight. It looks like Pint also got it very clean. That one looked a little tricky as well because of the geometry of the rest of the boss. So he really snuck that in. Very good for Pint. Keeping it close. Labyrinth is a very weird stage for Uzume. It kind of requires a lot of movement, whereas Uzume does not have said movement. You have to do a lot of stopping whenever you shoot, and there are enemies that can crowd you, there are enemies that have some pretty insane projectiles, so it's frustrating sometimes. Especially the boss here. All right. And looks like Pint has his shrine won. A very good catch. Mason almost forgot his crow for the third secret. You do have to collect all of the secrets and all of the upgrades in 100%, or else your run is invalidated. It's like an orb drop for Mason. Could not get around the firebugs. Pint looking for a little bit more SP, does not have quite enough. It's a little surprising considering he should have grabbed the secret. He might have grabbed the secret before Shrine 2 though. In these situations, we should always check the final screen. It shows the amount of health, the amount of SP that they have, as well as the, how do you say, the secrets that have been collected during the run. Pint putting himself into a tiny bit of a squeeze there. The firebug's almost certainly gonna... Oh! Amazing maneuvering. Making me eat my words. Now Mason on his way to the Stage 3 Labyrinth boss. Right, looks like Pint's got his portal open. He just has to get the last upgrade of the stage. Opting not to kill the rest of those firebugs. We'll see how his bridge skip goes. Nice start. Looks like he took some damage, but we made it across. Very close. But nonetheless, he made it across. Alright, and this is another place where it's very easy to die as Uzume, as this level 3 boss. There's so many moving parts of this stage and moving parts of the obstacles and enemies that come at you that you really have to either abuse the iframes that the super has, the special move that Uzume has, that large barrage of arrows, or you have to be very, very good at choosing where you're going to put those arrows, the single, double, or triple barrages. Looks like a 17:03 finish for Mason. Pint right behind. Still has to make it through this stage, though. It's 3 health right now. 3 health is a little low for this section. Kill 3 of them. Get the iframes from the special. Kill the rest. Walking forward. Very nice maneuvering. Iframe's probably not going to outlast that last set of bullets, but he still gets the finish. Very nice. No death. So I would say this is about a 45 to 50 second lead for Mason right now. Alright, looks like Mason finished his key carry, no drops from what I could tell. And now Pint is going to start his. Very nice patience on those angels. Very good avoidance on the green ones. A little bit of a tough situation. I can definitely see. I think he's going for just a full reset. At that point, you kind of have to. We'll have to do the key carry again, clearing of the bushes, as well as the setup for the left-hand side, bottom left. Now Mason going for this trick. Did not quite get it. Looks like that's his second pass through that kill room. Hasn't been able to get it either time. Usually tanking damage there is one of the more effective ways to get that skip. If you face down or south on the stage, stand on the most southern border and let one of the enemies hit you, and then run upwards as they die, because you hit them at the same time that you tank damage. You'll usually get that cutscene skip. Just like that. Oh, it did not. It has to reset the room. But that is the correct setup for sure. Not correct. It's one of the more effective setups. Doesn't quite get it. Unless he goes back and does the pass again, he'll have to take the orb the normal way. Opting for some safety health, very smart idea. Do not want to be caught with less health than you need. Looks like Pint needs to redo his key carry. Alright, and Pint on his way to the right-hand side of the stage. He's going to be getting this upgrade, getting the second shrine, I believe, and hopefully nailing the kill room skip coming up. A little bit of shenanigans later, and Mason has his access to the last upgrade that's available in a level. The other two that he'll need are in the pre-boss room. It's like Pint cannot quite get the setup to work for him either on that kill room. He's going to need to lure that a little bit closer before... I guess he just wants it to be done with. But then goes back north anyway. It's not easy. It's for sure tricky. Yep, and then that's good. There it is. All right, and Mason here on the final boss. First phase, no sweat at all. Second phase, a little unfortunate with the RNG, how it works out. You really just gotta take what the game will give you. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not so good, but Uzume, this is one of her strengths, is that it doesn't matter what kind of RNG it gives you, because you can just shoot arrows from anywhere on the stage and pretty much hit the orb, the weak point, right when it comes out. Here's Pint with his orb carry. Barely does not have enough room to get around that white Dramos. But those angels and Dramos are going to spell trouble. Only 1 health, and that is a death. I do believe he is just waiting for Mason to be done, I assume. Staying on the continue screen. Looks like Mason is going for the manipulation of the Dramos. Trying to get one to go in front of the weak point. Not getting great RNG for sure. just one of them. Just a single one. He needs to spawn near the center and go towards the orb. And not a single one is working. And it does come to a point where you end up losing more time on this than it is worth. It is the fastest method, however. Looks like he gets it anyway. What an incredible... That is insane. I'm not sure if he actually meant for that to happen, or if that was just enough that the... So he did the barrage, the single, the double, then the triple, and the set of 2 arrows, the one on the right, hit the Dramos, and so he still sunk 5 arrows into the boss. And so it skipped him from phase 1 to phase 3, and then he went from phase 3 to the end. Very nice work. 26:43 for Mason. It looks like I was wrong about Pint. Pint will finish. Just getting to his 4th shrine, as well as that last upgrade. Nice kill room skip. Grabbing the Skipmore doll. Secret. All right, looks like we are going to have the next race start, I believe, from what I see in chat. Uzume was game 1. The next character will be, let's see what they say. Hinome is our next pick. Now, if I'm not mistaken, both of these characters are Hinome specialists. Probably their best character in their respective repertoire. Hinome is commonly referred to as the Shield Girl. just gave them their countdown. Should be starting any moment now. And we are off. So Hinome, Shield Girl, has a Captain America-esque shield that she tosses, and it will always come back to her. When the shield is out, she has a 1 damage dealing dagger that can propel her forward a little bit for repositioning. It's a very, very geometry heavy character. Like very, very positioning, probably more than any other character in the game. Because if done right, you can toss the shield, have it trail behind you, hit enemies, use the dagger, run forward, and then have any cleanup that needs to be done happen with the shield. Pint does it right there, has a combo extension, gets 11 more SP. Pretty nice, and then picks up the treasure chest instead, and we'll have a beautiful 200 to come back to. Doesn't keep the combo going, but that's pretty nice to have that chest out of the way. It does lose time slightly in terms of having to reopen the treasure chest, but that's such a short animation, it's kind of a wash. And just like before, it looks like Mason does not have the lead here. It looks like Pint is leading here in Forest. We'll see if Pint is able to keep this up. He does need a significant amount more SP, but it also looks like Mason does as well. You really want to have, not 75. No, it is 75. 75 going up to the treasure chest with the upgrade in it, because the upgrade will give you 25 SP. It takes 50 to open, so 25 plus another 25 will give you 50, which will open the chest that has the orb in the bottom left-hand side of the screen. Looks like a very late orb drop, probably one of the worst you can have just because of how much travel distance you have to make up there. All right, this looks much like the first game, El Clasico. Looks like Pint will be in to the boss door, 314. Mason trailing behind a little bit. Hopefully no death on the first boss. And then Pint would be able to keep his lead. But again, I would say the only characters that are really... I think I would say the only character that's really solved is Yamato in terms of combo routing. There's still a lot of debate on what is best for Hinome or Uzume in terms of what attacks to throw out where and what enemies to combo or not combo, because death abuse versus comboing is a very real topic for these characters because their attacks are just so laggy and their startup frames are not that great. Their utility far exceeds what Yamato has with her sword, but the startup frames and the lagginess is just something you really have to have a game plan to combat. Looks like all of the V patterns that Pint is going for are going rather well. Commentator's Curse. Fixes the last hop, just has to stay alive for a couple more seconds. No need to be so hasty. Very good. And if he's going to choose to Death Abuse, he should do so right at the beginning of the stage instead of further into the stage, because if he dies later on, he will have travel time and travel distance to make up. So he really needs to be careful. Oh, it looks like he makes it to Shrine 1. Going for the health that fell from the bush. Might even take that one, not sure yet. And then Mason done with his first boss. 545 looks to me, do I remember correctly, probably a 40-second time difference. Nice job with that shield coming back to hit the jelly. That way it could get out of his way and he could proceed with the orb. Very nice play. And here comes Pint trying to get that combo started to have enough for the coming shrines and treasure chests. I'm not exactly sure here, but we need 50 for the chest, 100 for the shrine, and then hopefully 100 for the next shrine. So really, we should be comboing pretty high. But also, we don't want to die. Now it looks like Mason is in the same area, but Pint is going for his bridge skip, gets the timing, just has to make it across, goes just early, ends up in the shrine again. Gonna give it another try for sure. Gets the timing again. There it is. Much cleaner than any of the other times he's done bridge skip this run. Now, the utility that I was talking about with Hinome's shield is not just limited to the geometry and positioning that she has on those attacks. She actually has the highest damage weapon in the entire game. Her dagger is 1 damage, which is the lowest. Yamato's weapon is 1 damage as well, except for when she does a successive combo. So, like a 1, 2, 3 swing. On the 3rd swing, that'll be 2 damage. So 1, 1, 2. And then Uzume also has 2 damage for every arrow that she shoots out. But Hinome has a shield that we can't really quantify how much damage it is. We just know that any common enemy in the game that she hits with the shield dies in 1 hit. And the enemies in the game have at max 6 health, so we just say that it does 6 damage. So 3 times as much as the most common damaging weapons, and 6 times as much as the weakest weapons in the game. It's very strong. Here we go. Pint in the boss, 922. And now Mason on his way to the boss. Gonna go for a special skip, I'm sure. 936, about a 14 to 15 second difference. Releases the special a little bit late, but that'll still be enough to save a significant amount of time. Very good from Pint. Now, Mason's going to go for the same thing. Charging the shield special, releases to hit as soon as the orb weak point comes out. Very good fight from both players, for sure. Seems still only about a 15-second difference, maybe 20. Yeah, it seems to be, what is that, 23, I think? So this is a very close race, still anybody's game. But great to see both of them doing so well so far. Last game had quite a few hiccups from both players. This one looks a lot cleaner from both sides. Great cutscene skip, taking out the sword mage at the end of that. Looks like Pint is opting to open that door early, hoping to save SP later. And he's going to get that return because he gets a 16 combo, 17 combo from that kill room. Keeps it going. Great combo. I would think he'd want to open that door first. But it's hard to tell. I am not in his head, and he is the Hinome expert here, for sure. And there's the key carry. Keeping up the lead. I'll be able to tell you all exactly how much in just a moment. 12-17. $12.28. So about 11 to 12 seconds. And we're keeping it up here. The only thing that I could think of that will even out the playing field a little bit more down the line is that Pint did not open that SP door from earlier, and Mason already has. Looks like a couple of orb drops puts them much closer. Yeah, this is going to be very neck and neck now. Both of them at similar SP routes as well. 15 SP behind for Pint and 22 behind for Mason. Very close. Great execution on the timing, and he makes it through very clean. And I think that the timing was missed by Mason. That'll save Pint quite a bit of time, give him back some of the lead that he already had. But again, this is seconds we are talking about. It is still going to be very close. Now, Labyrinth boss is much easier for Hinome and Yamato than it is for Uzume. Being able to move around pretty much the moment that you use an attack is greatly, greatly appreciated. Little pause buffer there to make sure that they don't take damage. Very smart from Pint. 3 health, even though I just said that this fight is much easier for these characters, 3 health is still low for any character. He's playing very, very safe, and he's actually playing very, not just safe, mindful is probably the thing that I want to say. Kind of watching where his attacks are coming from and where they're going. Nice. Oh, but he'll have to be really careful about dodging these bullets here. Gets very lucky with the middle orb RNG. 2 health is not a lot going into going into ruins, but I think we can make it work. He also has the SP lead over Mason, but really around 200 is all you need. It helps to have extra though. There's no situation in the game where having extra doesn't help you. Ooh, but he will probably need to pick up some health. There we go. Very mindful play. Nice, killing that Angel and Crab Walker turret. Those can be big pains when doing an item carry. Stutters a little bit, but makes it through. No orb drop. Gets a little bit more health. And both of them are synced up now. We're on our way to a key carry, and it looks like he's getting some more health. That's a good idea, but it's given Mason just enough of a lead. Just enough time to sneak by and have the hairlinest lead that you've ever seen in a Kamiko race. I believe Pint is an all D-pad player, and it's scaring me greatly, but both of them get the key carry. No dropped key. Very, very, very pleasing for both players. It was so nerve-wracking. Pint just trying to clear as much as he can to get out of the way. He doesn't want to clear everybody. Oh, because now they're going to be on respawn if we have to come back north with the final item carry of the stage. Bad pairing, but it looks like he can clean it up. It's not positioned enough. He gets hit, gets sent the wrong way, and throws out the attack too early to send off the cutscene skip. With only 2 health, it's going to be a little bit difficult, especially with this pattern. And then tanking damage is such a scary risk, but he gets it done. And then he just narrowly dies. A lot that has to be made up at this point, but it is not impossible. I would never say never in a Kamiko race. Okay, there are some situations where I would say never. This is not one. Now it looks like Mason is doing his last bridge skip. And we get to see this beauty. Cutscene skip, start moving. Not early enough, I think. I think he would have needed less SP and a earlier pause to make that trick work. And then just barely misses the spacing on the kill room cancel. Mason done with the first boss in Ruins, and Pint on his way to start the first boss. Pint has the Pint position going on, trying to manipulate that orb RNG to come straight to him. Still reaches on the left-hand side of the stage because of the range that Hinome has. Very good call out. Great timing too on the third phase startup. $24.55 for Mason. Most likely a $25.50, I want to say, for a pint. It might be more. I always misunderstand or underestimate the final phase. Final phase is almost 40 seconds long on its own, I think. Maybe 35. $26.30? Yeah. We will see where we go next. All right, for game 3, it looks like we are getting a run back of Hinome. That's how the best of 5 race works. Best of 5, you can replay a character where you don't really get that luxury on it doesn't really happen that way usually because there's the character counter picking and the banning and whatnot in best of 3. Best of 5, you really have to pony up and be able to play multiple characters multiple times. So the countdown has been given. This is the last chance for Pint to stay in the tournament. We'll have to win 3 games in a row to make that happen. But game 3, in a best of 5, 2 down, that's where it begins. If you can make that happen, you can make the next 2 games happen. All right, here we go. A tiny bit more background for those who have not joined us until last game or have only joined us this game. Pint is down 2-0. Uzume and Hinome have already been played. Hinome is the character repick for game 3. And every game that there has been Pint has been in the lead pretty solidly up until either Relics or game 2 Ruins. And so his intro, his startup game is pretty good. To make it happen though, he will have to keep his cool the entire way through. What lost him time in Ruins was having to redo key carries, dying during the, dying during the kill room. I remember that. So just a couple of unfortunate mistakes that ended up costing more time than they're worth. They are some of the harder parts of the game, do not get me wrong. But those are the places that you want to keep your cool the most, for sure. Seems like we're looking at a little bit of a time difference. Only, I'd say, max of 6 seconds. Still completely doable. Anything I'd say within a minute is fair game in a race in Kamiko. Forest is almost always too early to try and predict what's going to happen. Got our orb drop coming up on this first bridge. Both players still within the same segment as each other. Mason opting to pick up the health chest first. The more I think about it, the more I think I should take that for every character. That just sounds like a better deal because you're already going to be combo routing on your way to Shrine 2 anyway. I think I saw Pint do that first earlier. I think he did that game 1. Realized my mic was muted for a little bit. Pint and Mason both finished their key carry. Pint did have the SP lead going into the Relics boss, though. And that will mean that he has a little bit more SP to work with when it comes to catching this second phase early, how do you say, weak point kill. Here comes Pint. Probably should release it there. A little bit late on it, but still faster than having to take the portal. All right. Both players moving on to Labyrinth. And so far, I haven't seen any more deaths. I think the worst thing that happened, I think, was during Relics, was an orb drop. And since then, it's been pretty smooth sailing for both players. Almost had a quit out to the title screen. That could have been very unfortunate. Looks like Mason gets his bridge skip pretty well. Now, Pint is on his way to his third shrine. Just about there. And Pint in a little bit of a tough spot there, but makes it out just fine. Gets around those firebugs and sword mage. Could have been a lot worse than it was. That position just is something that you don't really ever want to have to deal with. So we are almost through with all of Labyrinth. Looks like we're on phase 3 for Pint. Just 1 health, just has to get the last hit, but could not do it. It was just the slightest bit of positioning. Now Pint is in to ruins as well. And Mason is on his orb carry. This will take him to the which shrine? I believe 3rd shrine, followed by bridge skip. There's the first orb for Pint. Looks like grass cleanup is going well. And we come to our key carry. Mason on into the boss store, and we have Pint just about done, and looks like with the right-hand side of the stage. Looking for the cutscene cancel, or excuse me, the kill room cancel, but also looking for some health. There's one. Not quite able to get the timing down for that, but still alive, and I think he will have to skip the Yep, he'll have to skip the kill room cancel for that portion, just because that setup usually costs 1 health. Beautiful and well-crafted orb carry from Pint to get to the 3rd shrine here. That one can usually be a toughie, so it's good to see that he made it through. Good bridge skip. Makes it through. A nice cutscene skip. Just narrowly misses the treasure chest, but all in all, very good skip for that portion. Looks like Mason is on the last phase of the final boss. Probably I want to say 24. Don't think there's enough time to be a 23. That's 2407 for Mason. Now Pint is on the last boss. Again, there's last boss and final boss. Not sure why those are not just interchangeable, but they're not in the game. Surprised that didn't have enough reach. That looked like it hit some hitbox shenanigans there. Now all Pint has left to do is the 5 phases of the final boss. Now, if you enjoy watching Kamiko, there will be winners finals coming up sometime soon, and then grand finals after. No, winners finals, losers finals, and then grands. Those will be in the coming weeks. But the game is $5 on Steam. It's on Nintendo Switch. It's on Microsoft Store. It's on Xbox One. It is on all major platforms and PC. I would heavily recommend picking it up. It's really, really fun. Great content for the amount that they have to pay for it. Really good value. And then consider speedrunning it. It's really, really, like, it's good as a content sync, like a 4 or 5, maybe even 6 hours, depending on how long it takes you. But to speedrun it is really where I think the content is. There's just so much depth. Checking to see if we have interview. Let's see. Done. And done. They should be entering any moment, so we can have them talk about the things that they would like to talk about. Pint is in. Looks like we're just waiting on Mason. Hello.
Oh, sorry about that.
Yeah, nope. Yeah, no problem. I was wondering. I was like, does he know that he's muted or?
Oh, it's just like the rest of the race.
GG's 1Pint.
GG, Mason. Well done.
Something I want to bring up really, really quick before we say anything else. Pint, do you know that you were ahead for the majority of the games?
Only one of them, the first 1Pint2Many race. I know I just had briefly heard because I had the match on my phone. I basically heard that Mason had an orb drop early in Forest Boss. And then I went and wet the bed later on in Labyrinth. So
I bring it up because we're focusing on the other thing. When I say the majority of the games, I'm not just talking about because 2 of 3 games you were in the lead. I'm saying that for a majority, I think, of the time played, you were in the lead. I think up until the end of Relics, I want to say, in the 1Pint2Many race, you had the lead. And then I think you held the lead in game 2 all the way until key carry in Ruins, and then it was tied, and then I think he gained a little bit of time over you. I can't exactly remember what skips were used, but I'm just saying it was very, very close for a majority of the games, and that is really awesome.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that, and it's good to know. But no, I mean, Mason is so bloody consistent. Yeah.
I don't know about that, but just
Well,
availables. I think once I know that like there's no chance whatsoever of like a PV, it allows me to play a bit safer. Take 5 to second losses and play it pretty safe. Like I got a lot of safety health. I think I got that bottom health right below the second orb. I got that in 2 or maybe all 3 races because it was just safety strats. Much more worth it later on. Play super risky in forest and to an extent relics, and then it's like, all right, let's just not die.
Yeah. No, for me it was just classic like marathon, or I suppose for me because I mean I've always had I mean just mentally just I don't put myself necessarily in the same league. So it's one of those things where for me in general it's go time all the time. It's like risky strats, pull them out. Let's I'll cut it as close as I can to enemies and stuff like that just because just in my head that's the only way I have a chance. But yeah, it bit me in the butt. 3 races in a row, so you know it's cool. I'm safety, everybody, play it safe.
Those first 2 were both super close. If it wasn't for some of those deaths.
Races are it's a strange beast because you can go for the risky thing, but if you lose time or you lose the lead, then it's like, oh well, I should have gone for the safe strats. But if you go for safe strats, how will you save time later down the line? It's very yin yang. You have to balance it very well.
It's like you want to avoid the like slowly chipping away at the lead, then just one mistake and it's
true.
And that's how I feel playing against even Cicada. It's just a matter of like the moment something goes wrong, it's just over. So it doesn't matter. I just got to go as high level as I can and just hope it all comes together.
Yep.
Yeah. But anyway, I mean, thank you again for it was fun. It's been a good tournament. So, good luck in the next round.
Thanks for doing the tournament.
Yeah.
It was matches.
No, it's good. I wish like I hope we have another one in the near like in the not too distant future because it's good to have the drive to sort of keep on improving at it aside from just like, you know, the personal grind. So
Every time a tournament happens, so many records get set.
That's so true.
I think for 2023, I may try see if there's some kind of event for sure. I don't know if it'll be a straight up tournament, but there's a lot you can do with this game. So.
So anywho, big thanks, RMF for commentating. Thank you to
thanks for commentating.
And thank you everybody from my community who showed up in chat. You guys are awesome. Big thanks to my wife for putting up with me playing video games and looking after the kids. And yeah, thanks, Mason. You're awesome. Thanks for setting up the tournament and everything. And good luck.
And you two are carrying this tournament with the commentary. I'm gonna try and commentate at least one match.
Good times.
But yeah, thanks again, Speed Gaming, for the restream, especially during SG Live. So.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You guys rocks.
All right. Is there anything else y'all want to say? We're good?
No, I'm good.
Good. Yeah, that was a fun match.
Tell your loved ones you love them.
True. GG to both of you, and we will be back sometime soon. I don't think we have a set date for winners finals, but we'll get that done pretty soon.
Have a good time wherever you are. Bye-bye.
Everyone have a good night. Thanks.